Semen retention creators have lied to you, bro. And what's worse, it's affecting you. It's stopping you from living the life you want. It's stopping you from reaching your full potential. It's stopping you from getting the girls you want, from making the money that you want, from living the life that you want to live. And the problem is, the longer that you don't understand the true purpose of semen retention, the longer you gonna stay stuck. We got guys out here that go out here and do semen retention for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And when they get done with that, they think that they're the man. They think they've accomplished everything that they need to in life. But when they look around at their life and what it looks like, ain't shit really changed. They look around, they ain't got no semen retention attraction. Girls are still ignoring them. Girls are still making fun of them. Girls still think they're a weirdo. They still stuck in a career that they hate, a 9-to-5 that they do not want to go to. When they look around in their real life, ain't nothing changed. And that's because semen retention alone is not gonna help you live the life you want. It's not gonna help you get the girls you want. It's not gonna help you get out of that shitty job. It's definitely not gonna help you become a top 10% man. Now don't get me wrong, did it help me get a scholarship? Yes. Did it help me become a top athlete? Yes. Did it help me become a top salesperson in billion-dollar companies? Yes. But I would be lying to you if I said semen retention alone is what did that. And I'm gonna be the first person to blame. I'm gonna raise my hand and take the blame on this one, guys, because it's not just all the other semen retention creators that did this to you. It was me too. And that was partially because of the way my channel was formed. Look at it. Go scroll through my channel. All I talk about is semen retention. But the fact is, guys, I've unintentionally misled you. So today, finally, bro, I'm gonna set the record straight on what semen retention is and what it is. But this video is for people that want real life results in their real life. So like I just mentioned earlier, semen retention alone is not going to be the thing that impacts your life and changes your life. And it drives me nuts because I see guys, they just sit around and watch semen retention videos all day. They watch 15 semen retention videos a day and they become obsessed with it. They become obsessed with the idea of semen retention, and it kind of defeats the purpose. Guys, semen retention is kind of a lifestyle, but more importantly, yes, I said more importantly, it is a tool. It is a tool specifically designed for you to transform your weak and lustful thoughts into actual meaningful action in real life. And furthermore, semen retention is a tool that should be used for specific times in your life. It should not be something that you think about 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. It shouldn't be something that you obsess over. It's a tool that you use specifically when you need it in certain sprints or certain cycles of your life. Think about it like this. A snowplow. It's a great tool. It does a great job at getting rid of the snow. But when somebody uses a snowplow year round, when they're using a snowplow in the summer, it's just not as effective. And as a matter of fact, you look stupid. It's a tool that should be used at a certain time and that is specifically and hyper effective at a certain time, but you shouldn't use it all throughout the year. So the point I'm trying to make is if you want to get the most results for semen retention, you got to understand that it's a tool, and it's a tool that should be used for specific times. And don't get me wrong, when you're doing semen retention, when you're on that 30, 60, 90-day streak, go hard as hell. Like, put everything into it because of the things that you can learn and how it can develop you as a man. But when you're off semen retention, take time to enjoy your life. Take time to experience life. You're not supposed to do this shit all year round. What's the point of doing all this work, becoming this man of value, if you can't experience the things in life? To me, it ain't no point. The second thing you got to understand about semen retention is it is just the first step. And yes, I mean it. The first step in a man's evolution. Doing semen retention for a prolonged period of time and then continuing to be a fat, out of shape loser in real life is just stupid. I mean, seriously, it's dumb. And what y'all need to start doing is reframe the way you think about semen retention. You need to start thinking about semen retention as if it's your training arm. I mean, seriously, I know y'all watch anime, and almost every anime, the protagonist goes out, he gets his ass whooped by the main villain. He gets his ass whooped, and then immediately after he gets his ass whooped, what does he go do? He goes into his training arc. He goes and starts training. He goes and starts trying to become better at the fundamentals and things that it's going to take for him to actually go out and beat the bag. The problem with some of y'all is y'all go into the hyperbolic time chamber and y'all just stay in there for your entire life. You just go in there and train all the traits and all the things that you need to, but you never step out of it and go actually face the villain and see where you need to readjust in the future. And what really grinds my gears is the way semen retention creators portray it. They make it seem like if you just go on this 90-day streak, that there's going to be this magical fairy that just comes out and automatically knights you, automatically grants you the power of leveling up. And when you look around, everything in your life is going to change. And it really just don't work like that. The 90 days of semen retention is not about getting female attraction or any of that bullshit. The 90 days of semen retention is for you to focus on building the fundamentals and the traits of a high value guy. And then for you to take those high value traits and go out into the real life and actually make an impact. I want you to think about those traits. Seriously, think about them. Discipline. Look, guys, if you can't have discipline over your sexual and lustful urges, guys, then you ain't got no chance of being successful. Accountability to yourself. I don't give a damn if you think doing semen retention or nofap is stupid. I don't give a damn if you think that. But if you can't go out and promise yourself that you're going to do something for 30 days and then actually do it and be accountable to it, then you are not a real man and you will not be successful in real life, bro. And then the other thing is sacrifice. I've said it 1,000 times on this channel and I'll say it here 1,001 times. There is no success without sacrifice. Let me say that one more time. There is no success without sacrifice. So if you can't sacrifice your meaningless pleasures today for your long-term vision tomorrow, then your dream is dead in the water. And then lastly, it's about taking all of those traits and actually going out into the real life and becoming the man you're supposed to be and bringing a value to the marketplace. And it is at that point when your life will change. Bro, y'all just don't get it, man. Like, y'all don't understand. I have been to the top of my field. I've experienced it all. And I have swiftly gone to rock bottom. I went from a point where I was playing in front of 50,000 people, playing in front of all the fans. I was at a point in college where I could bang any chick that I wanted. Had a different girl for every single day of the week. I had all the praise and admiration from my peers that you could ever want. And then just 2 years later, after being savagely rejected from the NFL, I was at rock bottom. I was at a point where I couldn't really afford to pay rent, to the point where I had to go and ask my parents, could I live with them? And the kicker is they told me no, because I had already worn out my welcome with my parents. So here I am, a grown ass man. Just 2 years before I was on top of the world, I had to go to my aunt because I couldn't afford to pay rent and see if I could live with her. Do y'all understand? Do you get how embarrassing that is? Do you understand where I was at that point in my life? But that wasn't even like the worst of it. Like, before I moved in with my aunt, I had got fired from my sales job. A year earlier, I had proposed to a girl I thought I loved. She left. She didn't want nothing to do with it. But the point I'm trying to get at is, when I was at rock bottom, I found or rediscovered semen retention because I had unintentionally used it before. But I started doing semen retention, guys. And I started doing all the things, and I was going hard as hell. Like, I was doing semen retention. I was meditating. I was working on my habits. I was doing all that stuff. I did it for 2 to 3 months, and it felt great. I felt great. It helped me develop as a man. But the point I'm trying to get at with you guys is, I did all that stuff for 2 to 3 months, and I felt like I was on top of the world. Like, seriously, I looked around, I was like, nobody I know is retaining or doing anything like this for 90 days. Nobody's doing that. But what it did and how it hurt me was that I felt like I deserved something because I was doing semen retention. But the truth is, well, I remember like it was yesterday. My aunt came in, she cussed me out. She had a rule about, like, you couldn't eat food in her bedroom. You had to eat out in the living room. But she came in and cussed me out because for like the 5th time she had found food in my room. And I remember looking around, looking at my life and be like, damn, I done all this. I done retained. I done been meditating 30 minutes a day. I done been doing it all. And I'm still over here getting cussed out by my aunt. I'm a 25-year-old grown man living in my aunt's extra room, getting cussed out about food in the room. And I looked around in my life and I realized shit really hadn't changed for me, bro. Like, I had been doing semen retention, but I was still kind of a loser. I was still living at home. Girls still really didn't want me. I couldn't get hot girls anymore unless it was with extreme effort. And on top of that, I had to pretend and tell them that I didn't live with a family member. I had to act like I had my own place, guys. I was in rock bottom, and semen retention alone did not get me to where I wanted to go. But then I had like a shift in what I was thinking, guys. I had a shift because I was like, okay, I done semen retention. And again, it helped develop me as a man. It helped me get those traits and fundamentals that I needed. But I was like, okay, it gets to a point where I can't just keep watching these videos over and over again. It's not doing anything for me in real life. So I decided to take some of that energy, take some of all the stuff I was doing with semen retention and actually put it and devote it towards my craft. So 80% of the time I started working on sales, and then 20% of the time I continued to develop myself. But the point I'm trying to make is, When I made that whole shift, everything changed for me. Instead of watching semen retention videos all day, I started watching sales videos. I started doing courses. Instead of meditating 30 minutes a day, I started meditating 5 minutes and then started practicing on my scripts. And it was only then, once I started taking some of the energy from semen retention, taking some of the traits, the discipline, the consistency that I learned from those 3 months of semen retention and started putting it into my real life goals, is when shit actually made a difference. And when I did that, guys, I had, just before I got on semen retention, they put me on a performance enhancement plan, meaning if you don't get your shit together in the next 6 months, we gonna fire your ass. So before before I did semen retention, I got placed on that. After I started putting my energy into sales, guys, guess what? The next quarter, I hit my number. Then the next quarter, I was in the top half of the sales rep. Then in the next quarter, I was in the top 10%. Then obviously I got to the #1 sales rep. And guys, all of it would not have been possible if I had never done semen retention. So let me make sure I'm getting that clear. Semen retention was a great fundamental building block for me to develop the traits and habits that I needed to become successful. But it wasn't until I shifted and turned that energy and turned those traits into real life action that my life started to change. And from there, guys, I got everything that you wanted. I started seeing the success I wanted. I got to making $200K for the first time. That's when I got the downtown penthouse in downtown Austin. Austin is a live place to live. It's great to live up there on the penthouse. When you get the penthouse, when you get the accolades, when you start getting the money, that's when the women came. I started having my choice with women again. But the whole thing I want you guys to take from this, it wasn't until I started shifting my energy away from obsessing over semen retention to actually doing real life stuff and taking massive action in real life. So the whole point I'm trying to get at with this whole rant is you guys need to use semen retention for what it was meant for, guys. Semen retention should ultimately be used as a period of time that you install the fundamentals, the habits and traits of successful men. And then you take all those traits, habits, fundamentals, and then you turn them into your career. You turn them into your business. You turn them into your passion, and you actually use it for real life shit. If you're just sitting around retaining, guys, if you're just doing that, if you're just watching YouTube videos about how long you can retain and ain't doing shit in real life, then you have completely missed the point. You have completely missed the boat, and you may be a lost cause. But let me reiterate this, guys. Semen retention is great. It is a great tool. But you need to ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to be the guy that retains for 5 years and becomes this devout man and just raises up to the heavens? Or do you want to be the guy who uses semen retention to transform yourself into him and then go out and take massive action in your life and take the life you know you deserve? Which one do you want to do? Only you can answer that question, King.